Thanks for coming.
How's Jocko?
We don't know yet. The doctor's optimistic. He hasn't come to yet. He's at X-ray now. Let's go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Lannons. It isn't quite time for visiting. Only members of the immediate family.
We want to administer to my boy.
Oh, is this your bishop?
No, ma'am. This is my home teacher.
Go ahead.
Mr. Lannon, it'll be a few minutes. Please wait in the waiting room.
I'll call you. But may I come with you?
Well, all right.
Dave, before we go in, I want you to know that in these past few months you've become almost, well, like part of the family. And when my boy was hurt, I thought of you almost the same time I thought of the doctor. I haven't been active, Dave, but you have. And if anyone can ask the Lord for a favor, I figure you can. And we sure do need a favor.
Dear Lord, please help me to help this family and this boy, Jocko. And oh, Father, how grateful I am for the help thou hast given in the past. I was such a reluctant servant that day I was asked to be a home teacher.
I've heard of the home teaching program, but
we need men like you, Dave, to make it work in our ward. We're calling you to serve as a representative of the bishop and quorum leaders to 5 families, to help these families better understand and enjoy the gospel.
But you're my elders president. How come you're calling me and not the bishop?
Well, you see, Dave, in this program, you'll represent every organization in the ward, and the priesthood quorums are the backbone of it. And furthermore, the heads of your 5 families are members of our quorum.
Well, shouldn't be any rougher than ward teaching, and I've done that.
This is ward teaching as it was always meant to be, Dave, but it's more family-centered than before.
What do you mean?
Let's take the Lannons. They'll be one of your families. You know Rita Lannon.
That quiet, nice-looking woman that always sits alone.
Yes, that's the one. Well, she attends her meetings faithfully and lives the gospel to the best of her ability. But, Dave, she's having a struggle.
What do you mean by that?
It's her husband, John. He's a builder. I think you know him. Well, take a look there. How's that for a row of blanks? Although he's an elder of long standing, this man has never set foot in the chapel, let alone come to any quorum meetings. At least, not since I've been in this ward. And he's never been very receptive to quorum visits either. And worst of all, I'm afraid the children are drifting his way. They're already confused by the disunity in family thinking.
I remember one of them, Ted. He was in my Sunday school class when he was a deacon. I seldom see him out anymore.
He seldom comes. Linda, she's about 15, is pretty loyal to her mother so far. But just last week, she left Sunday school early to go joyriding with a boyfriend. Jocko, the youngest, they'll have a time with him, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I've heard about Jocko. He's the terror of my wife's primary class.
That's him. Well, you see, Dave, a family like this offers many challenges. But that's the basis for the home teaching program. Every member of each family that you visit will be a challenge to you. And your job will be to give to each of them a personal challenge, to attend their meetings, to embark on genealogy work, or to prepare themselves to go through the temple.
Man, this sounds like a job for a genius, Carl. I'm just not in that class. Why call me?
Because you have a strong testimony, Dave. And when you accept a job, you always follow it through.
Oh, yes, but...
Dave, the church has invested a lot of time and prayerful thought in this program. You'll receive the proper training, and you'll be provided with the proper tools. And we think we've asked the proper man.
I don't know, Carl.
Hello, honey.
Hi, dear.
Back so soon?
Yep.
What did Carl want?
Well, he wants me to serve in this new home teaching program.
What's that?
Well, it's like ward teaching, only it covers a lot more territory.
And?
I don't know, Mary. Sounds pretty big.
I've never known you to turn down anything yet, big or little.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder saying no to the bishop.
I see. And Carl's just a good friend and neighbor and president of your quorum.
Oh, he's all that. But I don't have to accept this job, do I? I mean, it's not like a call from the bishop.
No. You don't have to do anything in our church.
How is it you're always right? Not enough spice.
Hello, Jocko. We'll be late.
I don't want to go to sacrament meeting. I went to Sunday
Or
school.
you have to go to
Come out or I'll
meeting.
drag you.
Speaking of the Lannons, there they are now.
So that's the family.
Mm-hmm.
Linda, don't. He'll come.
I'll say he'll come.
Oh, Linda.
Now, look what you've done. Well, it serves you right.
No use forcing the kid, Rita. You can't make a mule cross the bridge if you don't want to.
All right, Linda, come on. I guess it's just you and me.
We'll be back for you later.
I don't know. This is the family I'm supposed to get to church and eventually back to the temple.
You're way ahead of yourself.
What do you mean?
One step at a time. Get acquainted with them first. Have you talked to the bishop about your call?
No, that's what I'm going to see him about after the meeting. If I'm late, you go on home. I'll walk.
Okay.
You know I've never turned you down, Bishop. A call from you? Well, that has weight behind it. But Carl Barber asked me to do this, and I don't know, we go bowling together. Bishop, is it the same as a call from you?
Dave, Carl Barber is the president of your quorum of elders. He carries the authority of the priesthood, and you remember what the Lord said? They who receive this priesthood receive me. Carl called you to this job only after consulting the bishopric and receiving our approval.
This sounds like a pretty important assignment, Bishop.
It is important. As a home teacher, you won't be dealing only with statistics or messages or quotas. You'll be dealing with families, with people who have individual problems. You'll be sort of a personal bishop to each one of them. You'll help develop individual testimonies, which will make each family unit stronger.
I'm still not sure I'm qualified for this job, Bishop. I've been ward teaching for years, and in all that time, I doubt that I've helped build anyone's testimony. It's either there or it isn't, and nothing I can do is going to change it.
Come here, Dave. Look out there. Those are our ward members out there. Good people, every one of them. And the Lord loves them. Some of them break the Sabbath. few take his name in vain. But all of us need strengthening in one way or another. Jesus said, "Follow me," and each of us will be judged by the way we follow. Don't you think that bringing the teachings of the Savior into those lives out there will enrich them and you? Dave, who's to say that your ward teaching didn't do more to change people than you ever dreamed?
No, but I came here to bet on Speedy Girl. That's what I want to do. And Dennis, look, this is your first time at the race.
Uh-huh.
So, take a tip from me and put your money on Speedy Girl.
Speedy Girl? Let me see.
Good evening, Brother Pittsburgh. Won't you come in?
Thank you. Good for me. I already
And Marty Bristol, I didn't recognize you outside.
Hi, Sister.
May I take your coat,
You
please?
betcha.
Thank
How
you.
are the Lannons tonight?
Very fine. They're all in the living room listening to TV.
Sounds like my house.
Dennis, according to your
How's
sister,
Mary?
Oh, she's doing
why don't you bet on
wonderfully.
number 12?
She sure enjoys that primary class.
Won't you come in,
Thank you.
John? This is Brother Benford, my husband, John Lannon.
How do you do? I know you by sight and reputation. I hear you're quite a carpenter.
And this is Marty Bristol. Marty, meet my husband.
How do you do, sir? I know Ted and Linda. Hi there, Jocko.
Hi, Jock. Linda?
Won't you sit down, and I'll call Ted.
Thank you.
Ted's in the shower.
Well, he'll be down shortly.
I suppose you're wondering why we're here. The ward teachers have been here before, eh, Jocko?
Yeah.
Well, Marty and I aren't exactly ward teachers. But we'll be coming around every so often, and you'll be doing us a favor to let us know when your favorite TV show comes on.
Every Wednesday.
Make a note of that, will you, Marty?
Wednesday. Uh-huh.
What's that for?
Well, we just want to make sure we don't come over on those nights.
Now, that's mighty thoughtful of you. I bowl on Mondays.
We'll make a note of that.
I suppose you have a message for us.
Nothing special. Tonight we came mostly to get acquainted.
That's good. I'm about up to here in messages.
Well, maybe you have a message for us.
Huh?
We don't want to waste your time or ours. We've come here in behalf of the bishopric and your quorum president to share the gospel with you. The ward isn't complete without you, Brother Lannon. We need you and your family. We're hoping to serve you if you'll let us know how. Is there any way we can help you?
Well, now, Mr. Benford, we appreciate your calling on us, but as you can see, we're hardly in want.
Well, every family has its problems, and the gospel has answers to those problems.
Maybe you think this family's problem is me, and maybe it is. But we've had war teachers here before. I recognize that look on your face. You're not the first do-gooder that's tried to bring me into the fold. No, Benford, I don't think the church will fall apart without me.
That's true. But in the eyes of the Lord, every member is important, and...
Oh, hi. Hi, Marty.
Hi, Ted.
Sorry I've got to run.
Where are you going, Ted?
Got a date. I'll be home early.
But can't you sit down just for a moment?
Oh, gee, Mom, I'm late now. All right if I take your car, Dad?
Sure. Just bring it back in one piece.
Thanks. We'll see you.
Have a good time, Ted.
Bye, Ted.
Well, I think we better leave, too. Surely is nice to visit with you folks. Good to see you. Brother Lannon?
This sure is a beautiful stereo cabinet.
Thank you. John built it, and we're very proud of him.
Well, you should be. Now I know why your work is in such demand.
Yeah, Ted put most of the stereo equipment together.
It came in a kit. He said it was easy.
Yeah, don't let him kid you. There were more parts than fleas in a dog's back.
How about you, Jocko? Did you have a hand in it?
No.
Jocko's a history nut. He can't spell Bull Run, but he sure can tell you where and when. All my kids are smart. They'll all amount to something. Not like their old man, just a stupid carpenter.
You can be proud of your profession, Brother Lannon. The Savior was a carpenter.
I heard you prowling around down here. What's the matter?
I couldn't sleep.
That's obvious. Any special reason?
Oh, it's that family. Can't get them off my mind.
What family? Here.
Thank you. The Lannons, the others, the Dodds, the Farnhams, the rest are all active. They're no trouble. It's easy to help them with their problems. You know, Mary, I took this job thinking I'll do the best I can and let each family do the rest.
That makes sense.
But this family, without active priesthood, without leadership, they can't do much of anything. So I have to do more than my best. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but what I want them to have what we have. The warmth, the oneness, security, and spirit of the gospel. I never dreamed I'd feel this responsibility for them. It's just...
Oh, Dave, I knew it was right for you to accept this job. You'll be wonderful.
Now, you recall that Paul, in talking to the Corinthians, gave us the true concept of the love of Christ. He spoke in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 this way: though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains. You know, Jocko, I believe Major Reno took his men and attacked the village from this direction.
Never argue history with this kid, Dave. You can't win.
You know, I think he's right. There you go, boy.
Here you go, boy. Now hang down the hill.
Oh, I don't know, Carl. You know, the Lannons respond to me as a friend. But except for Rita and Linda, and more recently Jocko, Marty and I can't make any headway where the church is concerned. The minute the conversation turns to religion, Ted remembers some homework he has to do, and John clams up. Okay, honey, come on.
Now, listen,
go.
don't bump into Steve. He's slowing down
down
catch
there.
your brother now.
Hang on!
Away we go.
Oh. Our other families are so eager. But in the Lannon home, I don't feel we've done any more than get our foot in the door.
Well, I happen to know, Dave, that you've made more progress with John Lannon in the past few months than the rest of us have ever made. You've made an effort to discover his interests and share them.
Really isn't difficult when you are interested, Carl.
Oh, that's what makes you such a good home teacher, Dave.
Well, where do we go from here?
You go back to them this week, and next week, next month, and 10 years from now if you have to.
I don't know, Carl. It's pretty discouraging. There. That ought to remind us all what Christmas really means.
Oh, Dave, don't spoil it.
Spoil it?
Turning it into a lecture. I don't want to spend the rest of the evening hearing about angels and dispensations. This is the season to be jolly.
Yeah, but even jollier when you remember what it means.
I'll go put some corn on the pot.
car, Jocko. Hey, good morning.
Oh,
How are the Lannons this morning? John?
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Rita.
Hi, Mary.
Morning,
Hi,
Linda.
see you after church. Thanks, kid.
Okay, hon.
Bye.
One of these Sundays, you're going to park this car, John, and join us. It's not such a long walk to the front door.
I can hardly come looking like this, Dave.
Better like that than not at all. Maybe Ted will loan you his razor. Or maybe Ted will join us, too.
Oh, I came to church last Sunday.
Ted's got a girlfriend trying to reform him.
No girl's ever going to reform me. Mom never reformed you.
So long, Dave. See you later. Hi, Dave. What do you say? Can't say much.
That's what I like about that saw. Sounds so good when you turn it off.
Ted was telling me about this project. Had to come over and see if you were doing the job right.
Yeah, don't lean too heavy against the wall. The whole shebang might collapse.
Yeah, I'll bet. Say, what are you going to do with all this scrap lumber?
Burn it. Want some?
I sure do. I could use it in my fireplace. Save it for me, and I'll pick it up in my truck. Man, this is going to be a nice-looking snack bar.
There'll be stools along here. That's the best way in the world to feed your kids in a hurry. Don't tell my wife about it, though. She'll want one. I should take a couple weeks off and build her some cabinets.
Why don't you? Rita's a swell girl.
Yeah, she's a good wife. She has to be to put up with me.
You two were married in the temple, weren't you?
Is that what you come to talk about?
Frankly, yes.
Yes, we was married in the temple. I wasn't very enthused about it. My folks hadn't been active. I wanted to marry Rita so much. I managed to live within the rules long enough to get a recommend. After the wedding, I tried for a while to keep the word of wisdom. Went to the meetings for her sake. It was just easier my way.
Are you happy living your way?
Sure. I like my work. Got a good wife and 3 wonderful kids.
But you're not really satisfied, are you?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder.
You wonder what you're missing?
Don't you ever wonder what you're missing, Dave?
Sunday morning in bed and a can of beer? Now, if that's what I'm missing, I don't care. Because what I'm getting in return is well worth the small investment. An hour against eternity. And in your case, 5 eternities, John.
How do you figure?
You, Rita, Ted.
Okay. You've done your preaching for today.
For today, John.
What would you say if I asked you not to come back? Don't forget to pick up your scrap lumber, Dave.
Okay, John. We'll see you around. And I thought my reward would come in heaven. That character, John Lannon. How did things go at primary today?
Very well, actually. I don't know what's come over Jocko lately. All of a sudden, he can quote the New Testament backwards and forwards. You should see the maps he brought to primary. The Holy Land, all marked with places Jesus visited. Made him himself.
Maybe I can account for part of that. He was complaining about the lessons. Sissy lessons, he called them. I just pointed out that the life of Christ is the life of a great hero, and as much a part of history as the Battle of Gettysburg or Washington crossing the Delaware. Well, he went shooting out of the room. When I went to look for him to say goodbye, I found him curled up on his bed, the Bible in one hand and the atlas in the other. He's got a mind like a sponge. And when he's thirsty for a subject, watch out.
It's amazing what you've done with that boy. Oh, he's still squirmy and exuberant as ever. But he's part of the class now. He comes because he wants to, not because someone insists.
If I could just reach John, I know I could reach Ted. He models his life after his father, like any boy.
I think you've reached him already. Only he's not about to admit it. I'll get it. Hello? Oh, yes. I'll call him. It's John Lannon. Sounds like he's upset.
Yes, John? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, yes, of course. I'll be right there, John.
What is it?
Oh, it's Jocko. He's been hurt badly in a sledding accident.
Oh, no.
John wants me to administer to him.
Dave, the first night you came to see us, I told you we didn't need anything.
How wrong I was. It's not just the accident, not just Jocko. But little by little, I've begun to realize how badly in need we've been as a family. I'm a proud man, Dave. And I've let my independence stand between me and my Father in heaven. But one night after you left, I asked myself, what does he get out of all this personally? And I couldn't think of a single thing. Even after I'd been rude to you, you and Marty kept coming back. I decided it wasn't what little glory my coming to the church would bring, but that you were really interested in us. Dave, I don't know if I can find it or not. But I want what you've got. I want it. Do you understand?
I understand. John, this has been a two-way street. I became your home teacher reluctantly. I doubted we could do anything to change your way of thinking. But we wanted to share with you the joys of living the gospel and understanding the teachings of the Savior. Before we knew it, you and your family became so important to us that you were never far from our thoughts or our prayers. In the past few months, you've given me so much, John. And now to hear you speak your heart like this has been the most rewarding experience of my life.
You may come in now.